Hi everybody. Thought I was gonna be on here earlier to share what my story meant last night. I don't really have a handle on like the grief that I'm feeling, so I haven't. This is when I'm doing it. So I thought maybe I'd wash my face, come and sit down here, and I'm just going to do my makeup, even though I'm in this, and share what's been going on. So if you saw my post in my feed, it's there to see if you haven't. I had posted that talking about the idea of back on April 18th, we found out that Greg Renfrew, who was our founder and CEO of Beautycounter, that she was going to be buying back our brand from the Carlyle Group, which is a huge private equity firm, that they bought a majority stake in our company back in late 2021. And it was a big, deal then. The brand was valued at $1 billion, which is, it was a huge success for Greg. There were some things that, I think all of us as brand advocates felt like, what is this going to do to the mission, or how the mission is kind of shared with our brand, which is what is at the forefront of this brand, is getting safer products into the hands of everyone. But anyway, that happens back in 2021. Greg was essentially kind of ousted by the Carlyle Group, which she obviously did not know that going in. For the past 3 years, we come to find out that they're not handling their investment very well, and basically, to get this back to April 18th, we were told that Greg is buying back the brand from the Carlyle Group. So she is with her own private investors buying back the company out of foreclosure, which is what Carlyle kind of led us to, unfortunately. And to do that, she needed to open up a new LLC, because Counterbrands LLC, which is what we had been operating DBA, doing business as Beautycounter under, that is what was dismantling. So she is creating another LLC and buying it back, starting it up again. That's where we stood at April 18th, and we were under the impression that we were anticipating that the website, for all of us to be able to go back to business as usual, sharing the products that we love, that y'all love and have been buying for years, that the website would be back up and running on May 1st. That was like only a 2-week turnaround, so I was a little bit hesitant to think that was actually going to be able to happen, but that's what we went with. And then we were told May 1 that it couldn't happen, just due to the legality, the hardships of starting a new LLC, which, there's so much that I don't completely understand, so I'm going to try to explain, but that whole idea of the product from Counterbrands being wrapped up in the business deal of that with the bank, and like not being able to be released for Greg to be able to start selling, things of that nature. So that happened. They told us that, on May 1, that it wasn't going to reopen. And then, so personally, I had earned our incentive trip that we go every 2 years to the Hill, to DC, and I earned that through the help of you, supporting me, supporting my business over all the years, but especially for this trip, it was, during a period of December, January, February, whatever it was. And I was supposed to be leaving for DC to be on the Hill and have those meetings with our congresspeople and our senators, and represent y'all and, me, my girls, and all of our voices who care about what our products are formulated with and what is allowed to be sold in this country, in Canada. And that I think I briefly shared. I was pretty heartbroken about that too, but that DC trip was canceled. And that was a huge gut punch, even though, I can, I forget where that left off, but just that was a gut punch. But I also, a lot of life was happening here in the last couple of weeks. We just last night landed back in Austin from a weekend away up in New York for a friend's wedding. And so I was going to be going to that wedding with my family. We brought the girls up there so they could see some family at the same time. And then I was going to be taking the train down to DC yesterday. And that obviously didn't happen. So I'm back home here in Texas. And last night, as we were getting back to the airport to fly home, we got the announcement, very unexpected announcement, that from Greg on a call that Beautycounter is not going to be able to reopen anywhere near as quickly as they thought, and that it is hoped for and anticipated in Q4. So essentially, a lot of people lost their jobs yesterday, or at the very least for this, potential 6-month period, which, that a lot of people depended on this money that can be made in a business like direct sales. And it's something that, for my family, it was a really nice, cushion to the things that we used it for, whether it was for something for the girls, for a camp or travel, or any bills that I picked up, or just, all the things. And it's something that we've grown accustomed to for the past almost 7 years. So I say I'm going to do my makeup, and then I just sit here and I don't do anything. So to say that even when all of these things were kind of happening, and maybe some people are like, how are you shocked? It was very shocking. Still very shocking last night. And I think that I didn't, I wasn't ready, or not ready. It wasn't completely landing with me yesterday, as we were having to, we were getting on the plane, we were boarding the plane, we were on the plane for 3.5 hours, and then getting all the kids home and getting them fed. And last night into this morning, I'm just having, it's like waves of grief, and I actually can't believe I haven't cried yet on here. It's a loss. It's a loss for me. I think a lot of people could say the same. 7 years is a long time. I have loved this brand, love this product, love this mission, love the community that I have met and become so close with over the years. And I know that that's not going anywhere. But it's something that, I really, I don't know. It's just something that has become part of my identity, kind of. I started this when hope was only, this is when I cry. Hope was only 5 months old when I started sharing about Beautycounter and learning about, I can't do my mascara, that's for sure. And, she's a little over 7 now, and as proud as I am about the work I've done with this brand, the change that we have made in this industry, with laws passed and conversations had, my girls are really proud of me and the work that we do. So we've skipped a couple steps while my blender has been soaking up some tears. My air conditioning's about to kick on too, so it might be a little loud. Before I wrap this up, I have to make sure that I tell you how grateful I am to every single one of you who has shown support for me and for this business and for this movement of safer products, shared with your friends, invited me to share with your friends. It is not lost on me. It means the world to me, and I'm so thankful for all of you, for the relationships I've made in this corner of the internet. Salt of the earth is what y'all are. And that's not going anywhere. I'm still going to be here. And I guess the question of, what am I going to do now? I don't know all of my answers to that yet. What I know is I'm going to take some days here and really kind of sit in the different kind of stages, I think, of what this feels like to me and make some decisions there. I still wholeheartedly believe in Beautycounter, the mission and what this brand wants to do. I still believe in how amazing the products are. So I'm very hopeful for the fall, but that doesn't mean that in the in-between, I'm not going to figure out, other things to be doing, right? This was a business too. This is a loss of a paycheck that we were accustomed to. So I'm going to try to figure out what that looks like. I don't see myself going to another direct sales brand. I just, that's not the route that I am looking to take. I think we're past my tears, so I'm gonna do this. But I've always been, with anything I've shared with y'all, especially like makeup tutorials and things like that, there have always been other brands, clean brands, that I wanted to kind of vet both their ingredient label and their performance for you, and I worked them in with Beautycounter. So that's not going to change, and that's probably what I'm going to ramp up on. Is I just want to be a resource for y'all across the board, of things that I can speak to, and that's always what this has been. I've never shared something with you or recommended something to you that I didn't already love, or that I didn't love or use. So I think that's where we'll be. I think I'm gonna maybe ramp up a little bit on my calligraphy business that I kind of put to the back burner, more so when Beautycounter came onto the scene, because it was honestly just a better business opportunity for me at the time, when it came to the actual time I had to put into something outside of the girls. But I think I'm going to think about that. Still figuring it out, and I will share with you as I figure those things out. Anyway, what a ramble. Thanks for sticking with us if you have. Thank you for being here. I'm going to get that email out. I'm going to put, in addition to a questions box here, I'm going to put an opt-in link to my Flowdesk, my email list. I'm going to make a completely new kind of list for you to opt into. That's, you're choosing to opt into it because you want to kind of hear what my next steps are, and you want to receive that into your inbox, whatever it is. What I'm thinking now, it's going to be more of I've always kind of done this, but that holistic resource of clean swaps and safer swaps to make, and it might live a little more in my email, and more just snippets here. I'm not sure how it's going to look. A lot of unknowns, and anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Here's that question box and opt-in.